And so I just told myself, I was like, okay, you want new running shoes? Like, have them. Just get them then if that's what you want. And that caused me to be like, well, okay, then I can wait. Like, if I can have it, then there's no rush and I can just wait. And it's caused me to like think through my decisions a little bit more. And by not telling myself, no, you can't have that, like being so strict, it made space for me to be more patient. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to the mid-month check-in for the month of May. I filmed one of these videos last month and I asked you guys how you liked it, if you wanted it to be integrated into my vlogs or if you wanted it to be its own kind of standalone video that we do every single month. And most of the comments said you wanted it in its own video. So here it is. This is going to be a new, I guess, official series on my channel, these mid-month check-ins, and I'm really happy about it. I'm really excited about it. As you guys know, I love talking about money. I love talking about feelings. I love talking about feelings related to money. I love to talk. So it's a beautiful Sunday. The sun is shining. The birds are singing. I've got my windows open, so you might even hear some of these nature sounds from outside. It's honestly just too gorgeous to close the window. I can't. My intention for this video is to serve as a check-in for myself, to help hold myself accountable to the goals that I set for myself, specifically related to finance, to hold myself accountable to my budget, and also just to not only be looking at my budget and at my numbers once a month so that there are no surprises, so that I know what's going on. In return, my intention is that, first of all, that this video is entertaining for you guys, but also so that maybe it serves as an opportunity for you to check in with yourself, to check in with your budget, whatever methods you use, whatever, I don't know, budgeting system you follow. I just hope that this video is a positive little friendly nudge to take a look at your goals, take a look at your finances, because you will feel so good when you do. And I want all of you watching to feel good about money and to feel like you are making strides towards your goals. So that is my hope for this video. I hope you enjoy watching it, and let's get into it. I've got my laptop on my lap. So if you guys see me looking down, it's because I'm following a little bit of a script or a template as I figure out how I want these mid-month check-ins to go. The last one I made it like very concise and I kind of liked that. So, but you guys also know like I love to talk, so we'll see how it goes. But the first thing I wanted to talk about is just like, how is May going so far? I first want to ask the question to you all. How is your month of May going? How have you been feeling? It can be like, how are you feeling personally? How are you feeling related to money? I would just love to know and chat with you guys down in the comments. For me, May has been like a little bit weird, if I'm being honest. I feel like I really love May. I love the weather. I love how the trees start to bloom and you go for a walk outside and the air literally smells fresh and it smells like flowers and it smells like spring. Like, I feel like we go through such harsh winters here in Quebec, here in Canada, on the East Coast. It is so hard for so many of us on our like mental health and like on our spirit, if you will, going through these winters. It can be straight up very depressing. And every May and when like spring starts to spring, I feel like I forget how tough the winters are, and I just feel myself like, oh my gosh, yes, like feel so happy and feel so relieved that it's spring and that, you know, the trees are green again and it's beautiful weather. And so for that, I just really love this time of year. On the other hand, I've been going through some weird like personal struggles. I want to say for the last like 2 months, 3 months maybe, I've really been trying to explore my relationship with work and productivity and how I kind of have this like obsession with it, and it comes in waves and it kind of flows, but I'll get into these states where I'm just like so obsessed with productivity. I feel like my personal value and my personal worth is tied to my productivity, and even it's like annoying to admit, but like sometimes I'll feel like my personal worth is tied to how much money I'm making, or that my productivity is tied to how much money. Like it all just goes into this big jumble that stresses me out a lot and causes me to put so much pressure on myself. And I've kind of been going through like a tougher wave of that in the last like week or so. So that's been really difficult. And in the beginning of May, I had set the goal that I want to relax a little bit more, because I was definitely feeling that in April, like I was like pushing myself really hard as it came to like working more. And because like, let's say for my contracts, I explained this in my monthly money, but I'm paid by the hour. So the more hours I do, the more I earn. So I've been kind of pushing myself, work more to then earn more. And when I say it out loud, it sounds like extremely shallow, and it sounds extremely like, I don't know, like money hungry. But then at the same time, it's like I have these goals and I want to achieve my goals. So I'm pushing myself too hard, and then yeah, my mental health suffers. So that's what I've been dealing with. I don't know why I just like dumped all of that. Classic me oversharing, but that's the downside of what I've been going through. That's like just being very real and open. And I have a meeting with my therapist next week, so we're gonna talk about that. So yeah, let me know how your May is going so far. I always do this in my videos where I overshare, and then I immediately like think in my head, why did I just say all of that, Zoey? Like, oh my gosh, why did you say all of that? You're gonna have to go and edit it out or whatever. But I never edit it out, because that's the truth. And I think between friends, like we deserve to share the truth for with each other. And I always say this, but I want my channel to be the kind of place where you know that whatever you're feeling is okay and it's like normal, and that mood swings and our moods come with highs and lows. So there we go. Now let's talk about money. I want to talk about how I've been, I guess, just feeling and thinking about money so far in the month of May. The first thing I want to talk about is JS and I, and then also with my friends, we have been having some really amazing conversations about money and about finances. And I just love that. I'm really grateful to be able to talk with my partner and with my friends so openly, and I think so maturely about money. And I want to let you guys know one of the things that sparked a lot of these conversations is this show I've been watching. Actually, I finished it. This show I watched on Netflix called How to Get Rich. You may have heard of it. It sounds like what? Like it sounds like a weird, like kind of like hustle name. But basically this show is hosted by Ramit Sethi, who is like a personal finance guru. I've listened to him on podcasts. One of my good friends read his book and loved it, so I really want to read it. But he's essentially hosting this show on Netflix where he goes into people's lives and looks at their budget, evaluates their finances, gets them on this plan of like how to live their rich life, which is essentially living your dream life as it comes to money. And he helps get them on a path to break some of their bad habits and implement great new habits to help them live their rich life. The show reminds me of those shows of like, you know, when people go into your house and like clean your house, or they like make over the kid's bedroom, like remember Trading Spaces? It reminds me of that, but it's for people's finances. And most of the people on the show are couples, so seeing all of the different dynamics between couples, it was really, really interesting. So just from like a nosy person point of view, the show is fascinating and it's really cool. But the other thing that I love is, you know, as the show's going on, Ramit is obviously like on camera and he comes in and gives these prompts to the audience. And all of those prompts really gave me some great things to think about, and they gave me some amazing things to talk about, specifically with JS, because there was a lot of like partner finance conversations, and then also just like interesting things to talk about with my friends. So on that front, I've been feeling very good about money. It's nice. Honestly, it's really nice to be in a partnership where you feel comfortable to talk about money. You feel like you're on the same page, and I have to say I'm really, really thankful for that. The next thing that I want to talk about is sort of like a little mindset shift that I've been doing the past 2 weeks ever since I made my cash budget for the month of May, and I'm calling it less thinking, less spending. And I was reflecting on it this morning, and I just wrote some like little notes down in my phone. So I want to read to you what I wrote. Something I've been doing is not telling myself no, not telling myself I can't buy or do anything. And that sounds weird, right? But what it does is it takes away the constant thinking about what I can or can't have, and it makes me more patient. Like if I wanted new running shoes, it's like, okay, Zoey, you can have it. And then I'm just like, okay, I'll wait. Because if I can have it now, I can have it later, which means there's really no rush, and it takes away the sense of urgency and makes me feel more at peace about money. I tend to be kind of calculated sometimes about things that I want to buy. Like I'm always thinking in advance of like, okay, like the thing that's on my mind right now is new running shoes. I'm like, okay, I want new running shoes. And oftentimes if I tell myself like, oh no, you can't afford it, you don't have the money for it, or like you shouldn't spend the money on it, I'm like, well, why not? Like I want it, so I'm gonna buy it. And then, you know, I'll like either make a rushed decision or I'll be annoyed because I'm holding myself back from something that I want. And I kind of started doing this like unconsciously this month, but I think it came with my whole goal for May to just like relax and like be more chill, which I'm not a very chill person, like period. But anyway, and so I just told myself, I was like, okay, you want new running shoes? Like have them, just get them then if that's what you want. And then that caused me to be like, well, okay, then I can wait. Like if I can have it, then there's no rush and I can just wait. And it's caused me to like think through my decisions a little bit more. And I'm glad I waited because I was really close at the beginning of the month to ordering new running shoes, just like casual sneakers kind of thing. And then last week I bought my Bixi Pass, which is like the city bike sharing, and your shoes get wrecked when you are biking around the city. The streets of Montreal, like they're dirty, those bikes are clunky. And I realized if I had bought myself some nice new sneakers, I wouldn't even want to wear them because I'm going to be biking around, walking around the city, they're going to get wrecked, or I would have bought them and they would have gotten wrecked and then I'd be annoyed. So I'm really glad that I was just patient and I held off. And by not telling myself, no, you can't have that, like being so strict, it made space for me to be more patient. The same is true of that dining out spending. Remember we talked about that last mid-month check-in of how I feel like I'm kind of cheap when it comes to like eating out, spending money on non-material items, we could say. So I bumped up my budget for it for the month and I've not even touched it that much because again, it takes away that sense of urgency, that sense of like, no, you can't have it. It's like, well, when the plans come in, I'll say yes. I've got the money put aside. I'm not gonna rush out to spend this money because I'm gonna wait for the right opportunity to come up. And I know it will. I know it's gonna come up later in the month, so I'm glad that I didn't like rush to spend it at the beginning. So basically just kind of slowing down, taking my time, really thinking through my decisions, which sounds like a no-brainer, but I think when you're someone who's anxious about money and your mind's running like this, you tend to make quick decisions, which can be a bit rash and not always the most like logical or patient thinking. So less thinking, less spending, or more patience, more spending. Wait, what? No, more patience, less spending has been working out really, really well. Before we get into talking about everything that I have spent so far in May, I want to thank The Line for sponsoring this video. I show my products from The Line probably in almost every single video on my channel, definitely in every single money video. Ever since I started with their cash envelope system, I have been hooked on their products. I've been hooked on the cash envelopes method, and I've just developed such an amazing relationship with this brand. These are my cash envelopes that I show all the time. I carry them with me everywhere, and I always say it, but they have changed my life. Today, I wanna show you 2 new products from The Line. The first I have right here, and it is their new notebook. It's a linen bound journal. It feels super, super luxurious. My favorite part is that it is customized. So it is hot stamped. You can either get it in silver or gold. I have it in gold and it says my name. It has the Line logo on the back. And the inside is just lined paper. Ever since I got this a couple weeks ago, I've been using it as my new personal finance journal. So whenever I wanna make a video talking about personal finance, or if I am just doing some of my budgeting, I love to have a notebook open in front of me and I'll make like little calculations or little notes. Sometimes I'll talk about how I'm feeling. It's really, really nice. I'm definitely someone who loves to combine digital tools like the budget tracker, like Notion, with real paper and tangible things. So I love just having this notebook to kind of be my little personal finance companion. The next product I don't actually have with me in my hands, but I'll put it up on the screen, is the new Saffiano leather passport holder. The reason I don't have it with me is because I am so paranoid with my passport. I keep it like locked away. So it is at home right now. I forgot to grab it before filming this video. I have only ever had one other passport holder in my life and it fell apart. It was also really chuggy. Anyway. This one is made of premium Saffiano leather, so it's the same leather as my cash envelopes. I love that they match, and I love that it is customizable. It just feels so luxurious. I cannot wait to travel with it this summer. I have a trip coming up next month, and I can't wait. It's also really nice because you can fit another passport inside it. So if you're traveling with a friend or your partner, whoever, you can put the passports in there together. You can put your tickets in there, any documents you need. It just keeps it all in one safe place. You can get it customized again with up to 3 initials in either silver or gold, making it the perfect gift for yourself or the perfect gift for someone in your life. I swear, customizing things just makes it like, I don't know, it's next level. It's so fun. And the best part is, just like the folio, it is amazing premium quality, but at an affordable price. I love how the line just takes extra special care to make the most beautiful products, but to make them affordable. I love supporting them because they are a Canadian small business. I love the owner and I just love their products, period, right? It's gotta work if I'm gonna recommend it to you guys. So I'm really grateful for the line partnering up with me on this video. They are going to be a recurring partner for these mid-month check-ins, which is so cool because I always talk about their products. So I love that we are teaming up for these mid-month check-ins. So thank you so much to the line for sponsoring. You guys, I always have my whole budgeting toolkit, which is from the line, linked down below. And I'll also link this notebook and the passport holder as well. Okay, I just came and sat down at my table. My desk is like a total disaster right now, so I didn't want to go over there. Let's talk now about what I've spent so far in the month of May. So I'm opening up my budget tracker and moving over into the expense log sheet. I'm gonna find the first entry for the month of May. You guys can see if you just like look down, there's really not that much, and there's a baby. I have to say I'm really proud about how I've been doing with my budget so far this month. So first things first, on the very 1st of May, I went and bought groceries for $42. On the 2nd, I bought shampoo. I had a credit, so I only ended up spending $30. However, I'm on this weird like ultra natural kick and I ordered shampoo from Aveda. Then I looked up the ingredients and I was like, oh, they're not like the best. So I might return this and try making my own shampoo. I know that sounds weird, but I'm on a kick. Deborah, my manager, was in town. So we did like a breakfast meeting. So it was like a work meeting. So I'm counting it as a business expense. That was $21. Bought a 2-way pass for the Metro for $6.50. Then I bought groceries for $111. We did another business dinner this time. This was $80. Honestly, I feel like such a like corporate business person having these like dinner meetings and stuff, which was really cool when she was in town. And Deborah, I'm gonna miss you so much because it was so fun having someone to work with like in the same city as me and being able to do these things. Obviously, like even when it's a business expense, it's still coming out of like the business's money, which is me, it's my money. So this is obviously like an exceptional week and I wouldn't be going out for like crazy dinners all of the time, but it was still just fun to kind of have that experience. I went out for coffee and had a little breakfast, which was $18. I got another coffee, which was $3.45. My new little hack is getting an espresso shot on ice and then just adding like a dash of milk. It saves you so much money. And I don't know, I kind of actually like this really strong taste. I bought a massive bag of Maggie's food for $218 and groceries again for $30. Now, before we summarize this, I just want to say the groceries, it's not like just me buying groceries for the house. JS also goes and buys groceries. I just don't put it in my budgeting I just don't put it in my budgeting spreadsheet and I don't talk about it in my video because it's not me who spent it, it's not my money. So my total spending for the first week of May was $560.94. Groceries, dining out, coffee, that was all cash. Maggie and the business expenses was credit. Now, if we look forward to week 2, which is from last Sunday, I guess, from Monday until today, I didn't buy anything all week. Actually, that's not true. I think I have a sneaky receipt in here. No, we're good. I really laid low this week and I didn't do that much until Friday. So I didn't have any spending until Friday when I bought myself dinner for $30. That was pretty expensive for like a fast casual kind of dinner, but I budgeted for it so I don't feel guilty. Yesterday, I came to my office, I looked around and I was like, I can't do this anymore. It's too cluttered in here. It reminds me too much of my old place. I need to pull the trigger and buy myself these things that I have been mulling over for a little while now. So I was IKEA.com and I bought 2 things from IKEA. I found finally the perfect credenza. I don't know why I didn't look on IKEA. I've been looking for a credenza since I moved in. Wasn't finding anything I liked. Everything looked just like cheap. It looked cheap, but it was expensive. And I finally found one on IKEA that was just like white, plain, perfect. So I bought that. With tax, it came to $142.57. And then I also bought myself this wardrobe that I've been wanting for a while. These are both for the office, and that was $263.29. So just in like business expenses, furniture for the office, in one day I spent $400, but that's okay. Furniture is expensive, period. But for me, it's really important that I have a space that I feel happy and at peace when I come to. So it's worth the $400 to just be a little bit more organized so that I can feel more productive and happy when I come to work. And then the last thing is JS and I went out for breakfast yesterday and I paid, and it was $38, which for breakfast in Montreal is so cheap. Like breakfast here is a sport and it is very expensive. But we like to go to this restaurant. It's like a classic kind of family diner and they give you so much food and it's so affordable. It's so good. It's called Green Spot if any of you guys are interested. So in total, the second week of May, I spent $473.86. But like we just saw, 405 of that was business expenses on furniture. So this week so far, for myself, for my personal spending, I've spent $68. One of my goals for this year, 2023, is to incorporate myself as like an actual business so that I can really separate business spending from personal spending, because it is a little bit tricky having everything kind of lumped together. There are certain complications and certain fees and expenses that come with being a corporation, but I think I did the whole like figuring it out last year, and this year I really want to like get serious, incorporate, and just like be a businesswoman. Now let's talk about cash. I am going to open up my cash envelopes, although I think what I'm looking for, okay, one of them's here. It's my spent on credit envelope. Oh, transportation. I knew I was forgetting something in my budget tracker because I didn't get receipts. So in my second folder is where I keep my little savings envelope. Really quick, going back to what I spent, I forgot to input this, but I spent $50 on transportation. I bought for $30, I bought a 10 pass in the Metro, and then for $23, I bought my monthly pass for the bike sharing. So it adds up to a little bit more than 50, but I need to put that into my tracker. And then I take the cash and I'm going to put it into my spent on credit envelope. So whenever I budget for something in cash, but I spend it on credit, I like to take the cash out of the envelope and put it into this envelope here, which is my spent on credit envelope. Today, I'm actually not gonna do it because what I wanted to talk about quickly, I have been holding on to this envelope since the end of May. I just haven't gotten around to going to the ATM. So I thought it would just be fun to kind of count it together. We have 100, 200, 2, 4, 6, 8, 300, 400, 2, 4, so 450, 60, 70, 80, 90, $505. So all of this is going to be able to go towards paying off my credit card. However, I've already paid off my credit card with money that I've earned. So what's really nice is when I hold on to this money, it allows me to pay off my credit cards with other money, just making my cash flow a little bit, I don't know what the right word is, but like heavier, just making me feel more comfortable with my cash flow. So I will take this to the bank, I will put it in, and I will put it towards my credit cards, but it's just nice knowing that I've got that extra money on the side that I can pay off my credit cards even without the specific money that I budgeted. It's just a really nice feeling. The next thing is this savings, which I haven't counted yet, but this is where I've been putting any leftover cash from the end of the month. Anything that I didn't spend, or maybe I spent on credit, but I didn't like account for it. I've been putting it in here and saving up for a special luxury purchase that I don't know how long it's gonna take for me to save up for, but it's just fun having this really like fun material goal that my extra cash gets to go towards. So I'm keeping this $50 separate just because I want to keep it separate from this spent on credit. So I'm going to deposit this and I'll save this for the end of the month. Remember when I said I wanted this video to be like quick and to the point? I feel like I've talked so much, but I'm just having so much fun. Hope you guys are enjoying this video. We are almost done. I want to wrap up this video by talking about goal progression. Since the month of April, I have been so focused on my financial goals. And like I talked about at the beginning, it has a little bit of a negative, it can have a negative impact on me when I become too associated with financial goals and productivity. And honestly, just thinking about it again, it comes from this mentality that you can only be successful by pushing yourself really hard, by working really hard. And something that they talked about in that show is that that's like a limiting belief, and it's not necessarily true. You can be successful and you can earn higher income. You can achieve your financial goals without stressing yourself out, without working yourself too hard. Like, there are ways to reach your goals without pushing yourself too hard. And so that is something that I need to work on. But anyways, I've just been enjoying reflecting on my personal finance goals, working towards them, and making these tangible but small steps towards them. So let's talk quickly about what those are. So first things first, with the income that I've already made so far in the month of May, I have been able to refill my 3 months ahead business account, which is 3 months of rent. And I've been able to refill my personal 1 month ahead, which is $1,000 for my cash budgeting for the next month and $875 for my rent and parking. So I am back to being ahead, which feels really great. And I'm really grateful for that. Now that I've done that, I can turn my focus towards my savings goals. The first goal that I'm going to focus on next is my emergency fund, putting aside $470. That is the amount that, if I do that every single month, will fill up my emergency fund to $10,000 by the end of the year. So that is my next goal. I don't have the money for it yet, but once I get paid, or more realistically at the end of the month, I will make that transfer. And then once that is done, I am focusing on my retirement savings. So putting aside a good percentage of my income towards my retirement. And then the last thing that I am kind of saving for, or I'm more dreaming saving for it than like concretely saving for it, but JS and I are going on a vacation next month. So I really do need to be careful, and I really want to start putting aside money for that. I don't have a tangible plan. I wish I did, but it is definitely on my mind. I have some money put aside for vacation, but honestly, with what we've already spent on flights and hotel, it doesn't even cover that. So definitely need to start saving up some spending money for that. And I am so excited to give you guys more details about where we're going, but you'll just have to wait for that. So you guys, that is a wrap on this mid-month check-in. I hope you liked it. Let me know in the comments what you think of this new series. Let me know how you're currently doing and feeling about money, how you're progressing towards your goals, all of it. I genuinely want to know and cannot wait to chat with you in the comments. I will see you guys in my next video. I love you so much. Thank you again to The Line for sponsoring. I'll shut up now. Bye.